All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fatty Zanaid. I'm an attorney, and I do training seminars for for SNAP, retail stores for SNAP. You guys are going to be employees of the Chicago Cast LLC. Just been formed, and we're doing a training program today so that you guys can get educated in the SNAP program. What to do, what not to do, things to look for, okay? I'm going to pass out several things for you. A SNAP, each one's going to get one of this. The SNAP USDA Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Just take one and pass it down. Which is at 3. Is that 4? Or 3? There you go. Alright, here is the employee training, okay, program. We're going to check these off as we learn different things about the program. We're going to check these things off and initial that you've learned that item, okay? We can use the same pen, it doesn't matter, okay? I'm going to keep one of these. I only have 4. Here's. You guys share one, okay? Is that okay? Then I'll let you use this one to share. So I was going to read it off of this. I'm also going to give you the SNAP operations handbook, okay? That you can document that you received that. Okay, there we go. And also that you guys have received the employee training program for link that I've developed. Okay. Here's the handbook. The first couple of pages, we're going to go through the SNAP booklet first, okay? And first, we're going to start on page 5, the introduction. And the first several pages apply to the owner and the manager, okay? But before we begin, why don't everybody introduce themselves, okay? And real out loud, because there's so much noise in here. I want you to speak up so that the camera can hear you.
I'm Moriana.
Moriana, what's your last name? Childs. Moriana Childs.
Mila Childs.
Mila Childs. You guys are sisters? Oh, cool. Okay, great.
Jackie Clayton.
Jackie Clayton, and you're going to be the manager of the business? Okay.
That's what I'm told.
That's what you So you're a new employee, of course, right?
Yes.
Dia Ahmad, and you're the owner of Chicago Pass LLC?
Yeah.
Okay, great. The food stamp, have you guys ever worked in a food store before?
First time.
This is your first time? You too? Okay. Have you worked in a food stamp program store, EBT store before?
I've worked in a restaurant before, but not a.
Okay. All right. So are you familiar with the SNAP program?
Yes.
Okay. Silence my phone. All right. Well, EBT is basically the credit card that's given by the federal government for used to buy food in authorized retail food stores. This store is going to change ownership soon, and it's going to apply to be a retail SNAP provider, so that people come in here can purchase SNAP items, okay? And SNAP is used for low-income people that don't have the means, okay? But the government gives them a credit card so that they can have nutritional food value. Part of the federal program of helping the underprivileged, okay? What we're doing here is training you to understand what's going on in the program. And the employer is responsible for everything the employees do. Okay, so if you do something wrong, it's as if he's going to be doing something wrong. Okay, and that's a violation. If you do any violation of the SNAP program, the store will be disqualified for, it could be 6 months, could be 3 years, could be forever. And that's an economic loss to the business, and we're trying to prevent this. That's why we're training, okay? On this first page, if you ever have a question, you can either call me, have the owner, you can call me and I'll answer it for you, or there's a number on page 5. You can check it off. If you ever have a question, you see a questionable, something's going on, you can call that, okay, that number, and they will answer your questions, okay? The store is going to apply, thank you, the store is going to apply for the program. And it's best that you do this online, okay? It's faster, it's easier. You can't make any false statements on there. If you do, if they catch a false statement, one, that's bad because you're going to have to say that you reapply it. They give you 6 months. You can't apply for 6 months, so you'll lose benefits for 6 months. Okay, that's a lot of money. If you do $10,000 of EBT, I don't know how much you do in your store, but $10,000 of EBT sales a month, that's a lot of money. 6 months is $60,000. Trying to prevent any of that. Don't make any misleading statements. Everything is true. They'll ask you a lot of questions, whether you've committed any crimes as the owner, the sales, what the hours of operation. Everything has to be truthful. Okay? And the store has to have eligibility. Okay? You have to be eligible. You have to have breads, fruits, vegetables, meat, poultry, fish, dairy products. You have to have at least 3 of those 4 categories. First category is breads and cereals. Second is fruits and vegetables. Third is meat, poultry, or fish, and fourth is dairy products. Bread is easy. Okay, everybody know what breads is, cereals are. Those are easy items. Fruits and vegetables, it can be all fruits, can be all vegetables. You have to have at least 4. I'm sorry, if I said 3 before, it was wrong. You have to have 4 of each of these groups. And if you, as employees, if you see this, if anything is missing, you should alert the owner and say, hey, we only have 3 gallons of milk left. We need to get some of that. Okay? Or eggs or butter. Those are categories of those are dairy products. Bread, margarine, butter, eggs, whatever, cheese, yeah, dairy products, all that stuff, okay? And meat, poultry, and fish are self-explanatory. It could be, in a can, it could be in fresh, frozen, whatever source, okay? And or the store has to have at least 50% sales of eligible items. Okay, those are the key factors. Okay, you got to keep them the item stocks, like I said, perishable items, vegetables, fruits, bread. Those are called perishable because they'll expire within a certain period, usually about 2 weeks. Okay, 2 or 3 weeks.
If sales were more than 50%, then these items would still be needed regardless.
Yeah.
Oh.
They should be, yeah. Okay. Restaurants are not eligible for a SNAP. Okay. But if a restaurant is more than 50% of total gross retail sales and foods cooked or heated on site, okay, before or after purchases, and you can't have food eaten here. Okay, I know one side of the store sells cold. That's where the ABT comes in, right? You sell it cold, and I think you charge $1 to cook it. That's a different business, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's totally different. Okay, you can't operate this business. I know you're buying the business. Okay, when you buy the business, you can't operate on the previous owner's business until you get your own. You operate just one day, this could be a big penalty, and it could, one, they'll deny you, two, you can subject you to a fine for doing so. So that's a no-no. You can't operate on somebody else's business. Okay? You're going to get an FNS number, Food and Nutritional Service number. Use that in your transactions. If you change ownership in any way, you can't let the new owner operate on your license. One, he could do something wrong and it'll affect you personally. Okay, and two, it's illegal. It's illegal. And if you ever get suspended from this program, your name goes on a database, and you can be messed up for life. For example, if you want to go after this business doesn't do well, you leave and you want to go get a Uber license, or you want to go work for Costco. Those types of businesses do background checks, and if they do a background check on you for employment, then they'll see that and they'll deny it. Okay, so be careful. Don't do any of that. Like I said before, you're legally responsible for all your employees. If they do something wrong, you're responsible. So you're supposed to manage this. Be careful, and anything you guys do as employees will affect you. So be careful. Okay. You have to respect all your customers equally. If somebody comes in for cash, wants to pay cash, another person with EBT card, you got to respect them the same. One variant from that is you can't give credit to EBT customers. You can't say, "I'll come back and pay me later." You can't do that. Okay? EBT customers cannot receive credit. If you want to give it to cash, that's your prerogative. You know, say, they come back and pay me later. You can't do that with EBT customers. What happens is some people run up a bill of $100, $200. They'll come in and pay it, and then buy another $50, $60. What's the red flag for the government? They see this. Every time the EBT card is swiped, goes to the federal government's machines, and they see these things. If they see a transaction for $150, then another one for $75, they go, why is this person buying $100, and then the next 2 minutes buying another $75? They'll suspect something is wrong, and they'll send him a letter at the store, and they'll say, hey, we suspect there's trafficking. Okay? Trafficking inside your store, and then we got to prove either otherwise or there's a problem. So no credit, okay? No credit. Right? There's going to be when you get your license, the SNAP retailer, you're going to get some signs. You have to put them up. Like we welcome SNAP customers. You put that on your poster. You're also going to get a window sticker or a door sticker that you can put up on there too, so you can display to the public that you accept SNAP. If there's any violation, you see anybody doing any violations, okay, in the program, all right, you got to report it, okay. Now, if somebody hands the card to another person to pay. You can't stop that. The government doesn't really look favorably upon that, but you really can't stop. Okay, now, Missouri cards, do they have pictures on them? Anybody know? Or just, you know, have you ever seen an EBT
Is there,
card?
yeah, they know.
They don't have pictures, no name either.
They have a name.
They have a name on it.
They have a name in like white.
Okay, so it has the name and, but just because that person is not the person standing in front of you, let's say it's Janet Smith, okay? She's got the card, but she knows the PIN number. If she knows the PIN number, you can sell her the transaction. You can't ask for the PIN number and enter it yourself. You get the transaction, you can't ask them. They must put in their own PIN number, okay? You're supposed to maintain your invoices for about a year. Okay, so if you purchase items, goods, you should keep them for a year. Here's what happens. Okay, some people, the government may charge you. They'll say, you got a small store here. You're not a big supermarket store, okay, but you're making big transactions in the store. You're selling $300 at a time, $200. You're totaling, $20,000 a month, and we don't see how you're doing that. But one way to prove that you are is you keep all your receipts, all your purchases, okay, and we give them all your inventory items, all right, and you do $20,000 sales a month. So, and if we show them $15,000 of purchases, well, that's reasonable. You purchased for 15 and you sold for 20, it made 33% off your purchases. 5 divided by 15. Okay? So it could be reasonable. So keep all your purchases. And if you get into trouble, you're going to use me. I would categorize them by month and also so if you buy from, I don't know, let's say Dearborn Wholesale, there might not be one here, Dearborn Wholesale. Keep all Dearborn Wholesale receipts in one pile and by month. So for January, keep all the different receipts together for January and then categorize each one by vendor. Makes it easier, okay? So households can use food to prepare, like we said, breads, fruits, vegetables, meat, poultry, pork, dairy products. They can buy seeds to grow things. Like, I don't know if the store sells any tomato seeds, for example. They can buy that, but they can't buy seeds for growing flowers or feeding birds. That's not included in the SNAP program. Okay? They can't. Now this is important. On page number 9, households with an EBT card cannot buy beer, wine, liquor, tobacco, or cigarettes. That's a no-no. Okay? They can't buy foods that are hot at the point of sale. Okay? They have to buy it cold first. Okay? Take it out, whatever, and then if you guys want to cook it in the other store, that's fine. But they can't buy hot foods. Alright? Vitamins or medicines are not allowed either on this program. Okay, pet foods are not allowed. It's food, but it's not for human consumption. It's pet foods, not allowed on the program. Non-food items such as tissue, soap, cosmetics, household goods. Okay, you can't buy that on the food stamp. Somebody comes in. Do you guys have a scanner in the store? Does it know? Can it read between food items, non-food items? It does. Okay, you can scan the scanner if it can read both food and non-food items. Okay. It'll show a total of SNAP and it'll show a total of non-SNAP. You can only ring up on the ABT card whatever the total is on the SNAP. Okay, you You can't bring the grand total. The other has to be paid in another way, whether cash or credit card. Can't be run on an ABT. Okay? If you don't have a scanner, if you want to make it easier for yourself, you can separate it yourself. All the eligible items, can of beans, meat, milk, grocery products, you can bring it up and ring it and do your EBT, and the other items, bring it separately and have other forms of payment, not with the EBT. Okay? All right. You can't charge tax on EBT items. I don't know if there's a state sales tax in Missouri. Is there a state sales tax?
Yes.
On food.
On food.
There is? Okay. If they're paying for cash, you have to charge tax. If they're paying with EBT, you cannot charge tax. It's tax exempt. Okay? Again, you cannot accept credit for people buying on Snap. They can't come in here and I'll pay you at the end of the month. Can't do that. That's a no-no. Okay? If you're going to do it, you're going to get a 1-year suspension, but only if you keep accurate records. Who wants to be suspended for a year? Just don't do it at all. Okay? You keep accurate records. Janet Smith on July 11th, 2022. By the way, today's date is July 11th. I should have said that at the beginning. Okay. You know, she purchased $159. Okay. She paid me back on August 1st, $159. If you have that type of record, you'll be suspended for a year. Okay? But again, don't give credit, period. Okay, it's not worth it. You pay too much for this business for you in order to lose it. You know, and if your business depends on EBT sales, it's gone. You'll be out of a job because they'll have to shut down. It's not worth it. Okay? Okay, if you accept coupons, store coupons for cash, you got to accept it for EBT items too. Okay? You can't if you have a bag fee. I don't know if the store has a bag fee. You can't charge. You don't. But you should know that in case in the future you want to charge 5 cents for a bag, you can't charge it for an EBT customer. Okay?
Or it would have to be paid in cash.
Yeah.
Or credit.
Yeah.
Or like
Like I said, each state has its own card system. Now, I don't know if you get Illinois customers here, okay? But Illinois, if you can accept an Illinois link card here, okay? In Missouri, all right? You can accept it from any other state, okay? Some cards have a cash assistance. Okay, so if they do, you could charge them cash on their card for other items. Okay, only if you have to look at the card, see if there's any balance on the cash items, and charge them on the cash for non-food items. Or if they don't have enough on their EBT cards, they want to buy something on the cash, you can do that also. Okay, you're going to get a EBT scanner. Okay, it's like a credit card, and that's what you use when the money gets charged. It automatically goes to your account at the end of the day. Okay. All right. Do you know how to operate an EBT card? EBT machine. Okay. You know how to operate it, okay? you plug in the amount, okay? Jack,
Yes.
you know how, you've never used one?
I've used one. I worked at a gas station.
We worked at a gas station and had it. Okay, so you know how to operate that. Okay. When it comes in, I want you to give a training to these young ladies on how to operate. And run a couple practice ones. Or, real ones, but you supervise them so that they know what they're doing. Okay? When you enter the amount, okay, you enter into the POS machine, and then you hand the key over to the customer, and they enter their PIN number. You can't ask the customer for their PIN numbers. Okay, they have to, and you can't watch them enter their PIN number. Okay, so you give it to them, look away, have them enter their PIN number. If there's not enough funds in their machine, the transaction will be denied in their card, not in the machine. It'll be done. Okay, and you got to give a receipt to the customer.
Nice to meet you
Okay,
again.
are you leaving?
Yes.
Okay.
You got your number and everything.
All right, good.
Nice to meet you again.
Okay, we'll see you. All right. Always give a receipt to the customer, and the name on the receipt should be the name of the business. Okay, and the total that you're ringing up should be the total on the receipt. Okay, and look on. He says he's got an EBT. I'm sure that each swipe reads an accurate amount. So if they purchase something for 39 cents, it'll read 39 cents. So make sure it's accurate at all times. Okay, the POS system. And sometimes, when if the key doesn't work, you can enter it manually. But it's not a good idea to do a lot of it. If there's a lot of them, that'll cause suspicion with the USDA FNS. Okay, so we're going to try to avoid that at all costs. Okay, so if there's a problem, call your company and say, hey, there's a problem. We're entering these things manually for next day until we get this thing fixed, but get it fixed as soon as possible. Okay? And document the date that you entered things manually. Your EBT or your POS system should give you some voucher slips where you can enter them manually on a sheet of paper. Have the customer sign the paper. It's not good unless the customer signs that little piece of paper. Okay? So if you're going to enter it manually, make them sign that yes, they purchased for $39.61, and they verify that amount. Okay? So there's no discrepancy. Okay? Hey, I bought something for $39.61, but I was charged $59.61. What the heck? It's a no-no. Okay? Basically, $20 was stolen in that receipt. Okay? Make sure that doesn't happen. Okay? Whatever's on the card goes in the system. That's what gets authorized. Okay? When you do it, when you take those manuals and you enter them later when the machine is up, you got to make sure that the amount $39.61 is $39.61, not $59.61. Okay? If you make an error, there's a refund. Give a refund quickly, right away. There's a way to do it on those PS systems. Do a refund, and you can charge it right away. You can't charge it for $59. Make an error, go on, put 39, because the refund will only go back to the last one. So be careful. If you're going to do a refund, do it right away. All right? Covered that. You should keep those vouchers for at least 6 months, just in case there's a dispute. Because the customer, again, will look at it and say, I didn't spend $59 over there, I only spent $39. And then they file a complaint, and there's a problem. Okay, so be careful. Keep them for your records. Okay? and say, hey, here's the record. She signed for it. It says $39.61. That's what we charge. $39.61.
When you say refunds only go back to the last purchase, it's the last purchase of that card?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last
I'm
transaction.
not sure. I'm not sure about that question. I don't know if it goes back to the last. It could go for that card. Okay.
I'm just wondering, if that customer purchases
Yeah, it's
something,
probably
goes
that
outside,
card. Yeah, it's probably that card.
looks
Because-
at their receipt, realizes there's a discrepancy, they come back in, someone else has already purchased
Yeah,
something.
it'll go for their card. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's for them.
Just making sure.
Okay. When you enter the transaction and the customer puts in their PIN number, look at the receipt. Make sure it says approved before you hand over the merchandise. Okay, because if it says disapproved, and you gave them the merchandise they left, you're gonna lose a sale. You lose the food. Okay, as if that item was taken without being paid for. So make sure that it says approved, or else the store will not get paid. Okay. You don't need to see any other form of ID. As long as they have that card, the EBT card, and they know the PIN number, that's all. You need to ask them for an ID or any other form of identification. No driver's license, nothing. As long as they can show, that it's good, that they have the card and they have the PIN number, it's good. Alright? If the card has a photo ID, you can still do that person does not need to look like the person on the ID. As long as they have the PIN number, they can use it. You assume that it was authorized by the owner of the card. Okay? Alright, I'm on page 14 now. If the customer says, here, take my card, I'll be right back. No, don't take their card. Never take their card and keep it with you, okay? Or they say, here's my card, and they write down their PIN number. Don't take their PIN number. It's like you have a phone, right? You have a PIN number on your phone. Do you ever give it out? No. Well, they shouldn't be giving you the PIN number. Okay? All right, again, credit cards, they talk about it again on page 14. You can't give credit. I don't want to overemphasize it. You can't give credit to people. A lot of my clients will get caught, again, give credit at the end of the month. Somebody comes in, pays off their credit, $150, then they purchase another $75 within 2-3 minutes, and there's a problem. The federal government sees this. It's automatic. It's all electronic, right? And when they see this, they go, "How can somebody they just paid for $150? Why are they buying another $75 in 2 minutes?" So they suspect, and then they send a letter to the owner saying, "We suspect that there is problems at your store with EBT transactions." Okay? And we got to prove otherwise. Okay? So, no credit whatsoever. Now, some people want to buy, something for $1 or $2 or $5 just to check their balance. There's other ways of checking their balance. Okay, they can call a toll-free number. You can give them a toll-free number. Everybody's got a phone these days, so they can call the toll-free number and check their balance. They can check it online on their phone. They can go on and check it out. I'm sure they know how to do that. All right. They can buy something and look at it, at the receipts. Or just use the balance. There's a balance inquiry function on the POS machine, the EBT machine. You have to enable it. So when you get the machine, enable the balance. So somebody asks you, what's my balance on the card? You go in, you swipe the card, and you don't need the PIN number, and then say balance, you tell them here's your balance. Okay, it'll print out the balance. Okay? You can't give any cash change. So somebody buys something for $10, okay, or $9.50. They go, well, can you put $10 on there and give me 50 cents back? No, it has to be the exact amount that's on the sale. No cash whatsoever. That's permanent disqualification. You get caught. No more EBTs for the store. Alright? You lose your store because without EBT sales, you might not be able to succeed, right? You don't succeed, you lose your job. You lose your job. You lose your job. Okay? You gotta go someplace else. So, don't do it. Alright? Okay? Somebody comes back and they say, well, I want a refund. Here, I didn't like this item. This item is no good. Whatever, for whatever reason, you give them a refund. You give them a refund on the card. You can't give them cash back. Period. EBT, or the government, the federal government, will send in testers. They'll come in here. They'll come in and shop the first time. Okay? I am sweating like a dog. Oh. Anyway. Anyway, I'm next to this pool too. It's so cool. They'll send testers. The first time they'll come in, they'll get to know you. Hi, how are you? Be friendly with you. You know. Second time, a little bit more friendlier. I remember me whatsoever. You know. And then they will bring in some items. One item will be a bar of soap or any other can of Joy or a can of liquid Joy or whatever, or a sponge or something that's non-food. You know, and you have to separate it. Okay, but this machine, if there's a POS machine, you can ring it all up and your system should be able to read the food and the non-food. You got to ring the food with your EBT card, if they're presenting an EBT card, and ask for cash or credit for the other. If they say, can you please ring it up all on the EBT card, you cannot. So yeah, this store's policy, first of all, it's illegal and I can't do it. Either you take this item back or you pay for it in cash or credit. Okay? Can't do it. Okay? And some will come in there and say, you know what, I really need cash. No, they'll tell you a sob story. You know, my mother's sick. I need to go buy her some medicine. You know, and you'll feel for that person. I got to go buy some medicine. She doesn't have it, and she's in pain. You know, it'll make you feel really bad if you don't do it. You know, unfortunately, you can't do it. They'll say, can you take $100 off my EBT cards and give me $50 cash? Cannot do it. Can't do it. It's made, the program is made for buying food purchases and to help the dietary needs of the underprivileged. Okay? So don't do it. Can't do it. If you have any questions, see your manager, and you know, they'll help guide you through it. Okay? No matter how bad the sob story is, or if a friend comes in and does it, you know, hey, they know you, your boyfriend, your cousin, whoever, you can't do it because you lose your job. You want to lose your job, and you know, just don't do it. Okay? if you do something, and it could be, you're responsible for your own actions, okay? And the owner's responsible for you too, okay? You violate the program in any way, you're going to be disqualified. An employee does it, will be automatically fired, okay? And you may have to pay a fine. There might be some criminal prosecution. Highly unlikely unless it's really egregious, but it could. You know, if a cousin comes in, your cousin comes in, tries to talk you into something, and you do this repeatedly with this cousin, and you keep giving them $50, he gives 100. You're not benefiting, as an employee, you're not benefiting out of it, okay? Unless you're getting something from your cousin. Cousin says, I'll give you 25. Don't do it. You get caught, could be a criminal. And you don't want to do it. Okay?
So all the consequences go to the owner, not the...
Everything goes to the owner. You are responsible. Period. And again, here page 16, my highlighted area here. If your store is disqualified or fined for violating program rules, FNS may publicly disclose your store's name and address, owner's name, and the penalty. If your store is permanently disqualified, all owners' names will be publicly disclosed through the Central Service Administration, the General Service Administration's system for award management. Basically, anybody does a background check on you, it'll show up as fraud. Okay? You won't be able to get an Uber license. You won't work at Sam's Club, Costco, or any company that does a background check. Okay? I have a nurse right now. Her store just violated. Somebody came in and gave her a sob story, and she wanted $20. The lady ran up $20. The owner ran up $20 and gave her $20. She didn't even benefit from it. She didn't benefit $1. She swiped $20, gave her $20, and she's a registered nurse. Now, she's working as a registered nurse, but she changes jobs and goes and tries to go to another employer that, and they'll probably do a background check. You're going to see this, they're going to disqualify you. Just not worth it. No matter how bad the sob story is, not worth it. Okay? You can't, somebody comes in and tries to sell you a gun. Okay, sell you a gun. Here, take out $800 off my EBT. Okay, and you give them a gun. You're selling them a gun. You can't do that. Or ammunition or controlled substances. Nothing. Cigarettes, again, we talked about tobacco, alcohol, or any illegible items. Okay? Non-food items, no way. Right. If people come in there and they only have $50 on their card and the purchase is for $65, you have to pay the balance, $15 extra, with some other form of payment, cash or credit. You just can't swipe 50 and say, they gotta pay for the other items in cash or credit. All right. Again, you cannot accept SNAP benefits without authorization. You're buying this place, you have to wait till you get your own license, okay, before you can get accept EBT cards, okay? And if you violate, one thing good about this training program, if you violate the program, and we show them this video that, hey, we've had a training session with employees, and every time you hire somebody new, you need to do this with another employee. Okay? So you need to do this with every employee that you have. Make sure everybody knows about this program. And I can do it online. I don't have to come out here to do it. You can do it online or through Zoom or something. Okay? But you need to make sure that if you get violated and you show them this program, then you can pay a fine rather than disqualify. Okay? That's one of the benefits of having a training program. Okay? The fine can be very expensive though. You know, if you're going to be fined for 6 months, for example, and you do $10,000 worth of sales a month, you take your average for the last 12 months, multiply it by 10%. So 10,000 times 10% is $700, right? Times 6, I don't think you'd be up to $4,200 for that. Quite expensive. Don't violate. Okay? A civil money penalty, that's what the penalty is. If you get disqualified permanently, because we have this training program, you could pay a fine, but it will be expensive. Alright? Don't do it. Okay? What did I do with that one sheet that's got the initials supposed to be initials? I thought I had an extra one. Oh, I got it. Okay. Alright, we're going to go through this sheet here, the employee training program for the link. Okay? We're going to go one by one to this and see if we went through this, okay? And then you're going to initial everywhere after that number, and I'll give you this initial I'll go through, okay? The first one we talked about is only eligible items are to be sold to customers. That means you can sell any food or food products intended for human consumption. Remember we said no dog food, you can't do that. Except alcohol beverages, you can't do it. Tobacco, hot food products prepared for immediate consumption. Okay? You can sell a can of spaghetti under the SNAP card, but you can't sell a 6-pack of beer. Okay? So initial there that you have learned that concept. Okay? Alright, let me hand that go over the second point. I should have made an extra copy. Sorry. Alright. We talked about sales tax. You can't charge a sales tax to SNAP card or ABT card customers. Is that understood? Okay. We also talked about you can't give cash to customers, whether discounted or otherwise, in exchange for SNAP card payments. This is called trafficking, and it will cause permanent disqualification. No, and somebody comes in and says, "Can you give me $50? You can take off $100 on my EBT card." No, there's trafficking. Can't do that. Can't give them cash back for their food. They have a refund. You can't give them cash back. It's got to be EBT. Give them a refund on their EBT card. Okay, everybody initialing that. All right. You cannot give cash exchange for SNAP card purchases. The amount charged on the customer's EBT receipt must be the exact amount on the purchase. Okay, whatever it's taken out of their card. Okay, it's got to be the same as the receipt. All right. Next one is you can't give cash refunds for food bought with the SNAP card. Refunds must go on their EBT cards. Okay? You can't process a EBT card, a SNAP card, unless a customer has the EBT card and knows the PIN. Okay, it won't work without the PIN anyway, but he's got to be there. He's got to have two things, the card and the PIN, or else it won't work. You cannot charge a SNAP card customer a dollar amount and give them money back to the customer. Again, you can't charge them $100 and give them $50 back, or even $100 back. You know, you can't do that. Period. All right. Again, you cannot exchange or sell firearms, ammunition, explosive, or any other controlled substance for any SNAP card transaction or for cash in any way. Okay? On the second page now. You cannot accept SNAP card payments or credit card accounts, okay, on credit accounts. Let me say that again. You really can't give credit to EBT card customers, okay? Your food stamp customer must pay for the purchase at the time of sale. You can't say, I'll come back and pay for it. I left my card at home. Nope. You gotta pay for it right now. Okay? You cannot give food stamp customers credit and let them pay you back when they get a card later. Okay? That's number 9. Right. You got to treat everyone the same. Okay? The SNAP card shall be accepted for eligible foods at the same prices and for the same terms and conditions applicable to cash purchases of the same foods at the same store, except that tax shall not be charged on eligible foods. So if somebody comes in buying a can of beans, one of them, two customers, one of them is EBT customers and the other one is a cash. You got to treat them differently, except for the cash guy. You got to charge them tax. For the EBT, the only difference is you can't charge the EBT customer tax. Okay, you have to understand that. Okay, and the machine should automatically do it. When you hit SNAP, it won't charge tax. It should not charge tax. You can't single out a person and say, oh, I'm just going to take the SNAP customers first. Or I'm going to have a special register for the SNAP customers and one for cash. No. You got to treat them the same. You enter any line, any customer, you can't charge them a higher price because of using EBT or require a minimum purchase. You want to come in there and buy a small little piece of candy that's eligible? Buy. It costs 5 cents. You got to do it. As long as they have the card and they have the EBT PIN number, you got to do it. Okay. Again, if you accept coupons from other customers, you must accept coupons for SNAP customers. Managers, this is for you. You have to report if you are convicted of or receive a civil judgment for the following matters, you can be subject to termination. All right, and let's read through the 4 different types. Okay, commission of fraud or criminal offense, regardless of the nature, as we need to consult with our attorney. Okay, on whether the offense violates the business integrity of the company. The company has to have good business integrity. If they have a manager who's committed fraud, could be a problem. You get into trouble, you have to say something. Or you may want to hide it, you want to keep your job, you're causing a problem. Okay? Commission of embezzlement, theft, forgery, bribery, falsification, or destruction of records, making false statements, receiving stolen property, making false claims, or obstruction of justice. Any of those things you're charged with, you gotta let him know, and he's gotta consult me or any other attorney to see whether he's gotta let you. Okay? 3, violation of federal, state, or local consumer protection laws, or other laws relating to alcohol, tobacco, or firearms, controlled substance, or gaming licenses. Any of those violations, you got to report it. Commission of any other offense indicating lack of business integrity, all right, or business honesty, which directly affects your responsibility in the company. You cheated a customer out of a sale or something or whatever. Okay, you did anything illegal that's gonna look bad on the business. That's a violation. Okay, and he can be. If they find out, he can be gone. The store can lose his license. Okay. Now, I want. You guys don't have to sign number 11. You guys are not manager. Well, sign it anyway. You heard it, okay? Number 11. And number 12, I believe it says that you've read this statement. Let me see what it says. You received the SNAP USA Food Program handout, which I have given you. You got the handout, and it was reviewed. With you by the store manager and me. Okay? That's number 12. Okay? And finally says if you violate in any way, you could be terminated. And then sign it. Print your name underneath so we know who's signing this. And put today's date. I want you for the record again, state your name and announce today's date. So, you know, because part of if there's a violation in the future, the program has to be in place prior to the violation. If you put today's date, you know, there hasn't been any violation yet, we're before that date, so we're accepted. Okay? And can I have those back? Just those sheets. The other handouts are yours. Keep. Okay. And again, state your name and give us today's date.
Mariana Childs.
Minute. Speak up.
July
Uh-oh.
11th.
Oh shit. Oh. Why?
I'm Mariana Childs and it's July 11th, 2022.
July 11th, 2022. Mariana Childs.
Mila Childs, July 11th, 2022.
Jackie Clayton, July 11th, 2022.
On July 11th, 2022.
Alright. And this ends our video. And again, today's date is July 11th, 2022. It's been a long day. Bye.